Welcome back, lads. Spazza here. We have another comic book inspired jersey. This time it's the Yellow Jacket from Marvel Comics. I decided to go with the MCU version of this particular outfit because it's a lot more mechanical, and I wanted to show my versatility a little bit because I've noticed that my last two were basically just muscle suits. So this time I get to show off a little bit more of my artistic flair with making some mechanical looking suit. This one took roughly around 2.5 hours, I would say. I live streamed it also. If you are interested in seeing the process, live and maybe picking up a few things here and there, because sometimes I do, explain what I'm doing a lot better in the lives because, I'm doing it at that time. You can understand my thought process and stuff like that in real time and maybe pick up a few things. Have had a few lads that watch me, they tell me that they only make jerseys because they've seen me make them. So if this is something that you're interested in and passionate about in Rugby League 26, making kits, then pop into my lives. Yeah, just come pop in and say good day if you ever see me live, and maybe we can chat shit. Maybe you'll enjoy yourself. You get a lot of different kind of characters in there, so it's a fun time. It's a fun time. If I'm being biased, but here we have it. I'm just adding in some like shadowing. These yellow parts are meant to be like a glowing kind of how would you say, like honeycomb kind of pattern, as you can see from the pictures. I couldn't do that because it would require a lot more nodes. Those nodes are those little round things that get placed on the screen every time you make an image. It's made up of nodes. So to simplify that, I've got ways to work around it. Instead of doing all the honeycomb, I'd do another way, which you'll see in a second. But this part right here is a little bit of the armor plating for the front. All the black parts are like armor plating and padding, and then all the yellow parts are more or less glowing kind of pin particle. The pin particle that makes you go smaller and stuff like that. In the comics, don't know if anybody knows the comics. Here I am just resizing everything because I've cut out all the parts where I'm going back and forth from the jersey and everything, because I feel like I looked at my my retention graph on my YouTube studios, and the retention seems to fall off when I go back and forth and show the jersey itself. So if this is what you like to see more than just going back and forth, then let me know. If you just like to see the logo get done like in one go with me commentating over it, let me know. Obviously this is a new format of video. Like, I have done videos like this in the past, but not to this kind of extent where they're intricate designs like this. These are pretty intricate designs. It's hard, like I've been saying in the last couple of videos, it's hard to kind of explain my process while I do it. Yeah, it's just hard to explain what I do. It's more or less just sit back and watch and just see what happens. So here's that cross section part that I was just talking about, where I was saying it's like a honeycomb pattern, but instead of doing the honeycomb pattern, I would do these kind of lines going back and forth, and then I would do a cross hatch on another layer with the same color. I've changed the opacity on these, as you can see in the opacity section there, just so they can overlay with each other, and then you can get that nice little square in the middle, which in that cross hatch, it makes it look nicer. And after that, I added a radial fade, my apologies, to it, just to fade out the edges and give it more of a light kind of effect, you know what I mean? Like, to make it look like it's lighting up. You can see me going around the edges, cleaning it up a little bit, fixing it up. And here's where I put the radial fade in. You can see it starts to like look like it's lighting up, and it gives it a cool effect. And when it's on the jersey itself, it pops out more, and it makes it look more dynamic and That's what you want to go for when you're making these, you know, Marvel or superhero comic book jerseys. You want to have them looking dynamic because, comic books are very dynamic. The poses are everywhere. There's shadowing everywhere. You know what I mean? Like there's colors that pop here. There's colors that pop there. So you got to get into the mindset of being a comic book illustrator. You know what I mean? You've got to really feel what you're doing. If that makes sense, you got to have logic about what you're doing. Um, Otherwise, it's just going to not make sense when you make it. But here it is. So all the yellow parts, I did this. Sorry about that red just then, by the way. Did all the yellow parts, doing the cross hatching on all of them, and then copy and pasting them to the other side just to make it easier. Like I said, it's easier to make one side of a design, copy it, and paste it to the other side. That way you can get, that way it'll be, the exact replica on each side. It'd be perfect then. Now this one isn't perfect, but it's perfect enough for me. I'm not like a big perfectionist. I just like it to look cool. I don't care if it's uh, you know the same the exact same dimensions on one side to it is on the other side. You know what I mean? I don't really care about that. I just like it looking cool. So here we are, adding a little bit of extra dimension to this padding, making it look like it's maybe metal or something, and you've got some light bouncing off of it. And then we'll do the same on top of it and kind of wrap it around, making sure to leave some negative space in between the yellow and the grey areas, just so there's a nice outline around everything, so it doesn't all look too connected, because you want these parts to look like they're armor pieces and they're sitting on top of something, maybe like a Teflon or Kevlar or something. You know what I mean? So we're doing another piece of armor on his chest. It's looking good. Adding another fade to it, and then we're going to go and add a not kind of sure. I guess this would be like a side piece of a belt. That's what it was on the design, but I got a little bit lazy, not gonna lie, and decided not to do that part, and instead just took a little bit of creative freedom to just mess around and do my own kind of thing, and just to see what I could come up with. Um, some like little rib looking patterns, I suppose, to make it look a little bit more mechanical. And then we obviously copy and paste it onto the other side. I was struggling here. Game, man. The game is a little bit funky, but there we go. Copied it on the other side. It's looking kind of cool right now. Like it's looking like a Hornet, or well, I think a Yellow Jacket is a Hornet, right? Like a Hornet or something like that. Oh, here we go. We go and check it out. That's what it looks like on the jersey so far. That was probably about maybe 40 minutes in. So now I am working on the top part, which is around the neck collar area, because I thought it looked a little bit too bare, and then I decided to add the little bit of extras there. Then I wanted to do some strapping, like some straps around the chest going down into the armpit area, so it looks like the suit's being strapped down and stuff like that. Plus, on the back of his on the back of his suit, he has like I'm not sure what they would be called, like plasma things, like little legs. They like shoot lasers and stuff, and you kind of need those to be supported by something and held on by something. So straps it is. Add in a little bit of yellow just to make it look like it's being lit up by the color in the middle there, the yellow color there. And then just doing some miscellaneous kind of designs to make it look like they're buckles or like a strap design. So I had to go back and forth a few times and readjust this strap area, because it wasn't popping up right on the jersey. It was getting hidden um, by the way the like logos sit on the jersey itself. They're on separate planes. Like the shoulder's a separate plane to the other shoulder. You know what I mean? Images cut off when they're placed in certain areas. But I'm just readjusting everything now. This is the front, and I'm getting very close to the end here. You can see that they're not symmetrical on each side, and like I said earlier, that doesn't bother me. I don't mind it being non-symmetrical, but now we start working on the shoulder, and the shoulder design was very simple. Literally, it was just two yellow little glowing things, and then did the cross hatching, and then added the padding, and that was it. Didn't need to go overboard with this part. Shoulders are normally the more simpler parts to do, so you know it's just easier to make it as simple as possible, not overthink it. Break it down into the most simplest two or three shapes, and then go from there. Like you'll notice every time I do shoulders, like I do them the same shape, same everything, because I know what shapes I need to put in there. Like when you make a lot of stuff, you get into a workflow where it's simple to do stuff. Here we go, add in the black padding or black armoring, whichever way you think of it, and then giving it a fade. And also remembering to leave a gap between the black and the yellow, just so whatever color the jersey is underneath will pop through in between those. Adding a little bit of just extra little bits and bobs here and there for aesthetic purposes. And here we're on the last final stretch, which is his like back bling kind of thing. It's I guess it's a I mind one of the boys in the live stream said it looked like it looked like the San Andreas jetpack. So that's what it is from now on. We're doing the San Andreas jetpack, which houses the Yellow Jackets blasters, I suppose they are, like pincer, like blasters. There's not too much to talk about here, so I'm going to stop the commentary for now, and I am going to speed it up, and I hope you enjoy this part. Alright, so I'm back. As you can see, it does look like the jetpack, doesn't it? Just with a little bit of spasisms to it. So we got a couple accents here and there. I wanted to outline these yellow areas just to make them look like they're sitting in something. You know what I mean? They're not just like plonked on there, but they're kind of resting in like a place. You know, like a little bit of a divot. And sorry about that, by the way. We're getting to the end here. Almost done. My apologies about the yapping in this video. Like I said, it's hard for me to explain what I'm doing, but I will eventually get better at it. You just got to bear with me for a little bit. And here is a little bit of the last detail. This is the last thing I did, which was add a background fade to the jersey, to the design, so that it doesn't look like it's just a flat image on the back of the jersey. And you will see it in a second. And here's the jersey, finished product, Yellow Jacket for the Pacifica Krakens. I appreciate anybody who's stuck around to here. If you have, please leave me a like. Give me a subscription if you like this style of content and want to see more of these. Now, just a heads up, we do have every single team locked in with their comic book character, so I will not be taking any more suggestions. I do apologize about that. To anybody that has suggested some in the previous videos, don't worry, they'll get done because you got in before. But I appreciate you boys sticking around with me, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.